What is a star and how do they form? First, let me start by saying there are different types of stars like red dwarfs, yellow dwarfs, blue giants, and so on. But for the sake of simplicity, I'll just focus on our sun-like stars. Our sun is what we call a fourth-generation star. What does that mean? Let me explain. Stars are born inside of giant clouds of gas and dust called nebulae. These nebulae are the building blocks of stars and planets. Over millions of years, gravity causes these clouds of gas and dust to collapse inward. As the cloud collapses, it begins to spin, and as it spins, it flattens into a disk. At the center of the disk, the material is mostly hydrogen and helium, the two most abundant elements in the universe. The pressure and temperature at the center of this protostar is so great that nuclear fusion begins. This is the point where the star is born. This process of nuclear fusion converts hydrogen into helium and releases an enormous amount of energy. This energy creates an outward pressure that balances the inward pull of gravity. This is the equilibrium that keeps a star stable throughout its life. When a star is born, it's surrounded by the leftover material from the nebula. This forms a disk around the star, and it's out of this disk that planets will eventually form. Once the star ignites, it will spend most of its life in a state of hydrostatic equilibrium. This is the longest and most stable stage of a star's life. During this time, the star will shine steadily, converting hydrogen into helium and releasing light and heat. The length of this stage depends on the mass of the star. The more massive the star, the shorter its life. For example, our sun is a medium-sized star. It has a mass about 10 times less than the most massive stars. The sun will spend about 10 billion years in this stage. In comparison, the most massive stars will only spend a few million years in this stage before they die. Eventually, the star will run out of hydrogen fuel and begin to die. For a low-mass star like our sun, the outer layers of the star will expand and cool, forming a red giant. The core will become very dense and hot, forming a white dwarf. The material that was once part of the star's atmosphere will be lost to space. Over billions of years, this material will form a planetary nebula around the white dwarf. The white dwarf will cool and fade away into a black dwarf. Black dwarfs are not observed in nature because they are very dim, and it takes billions of years for them to cool enough to be noticeable. Now, what happens to high-mass stars when they die? When a massive star runs out of hydrogen, its core will collapse in on itself. This will cause the star to explode in a supernova. A supernova is one of the most violent events in the universe. The explosion blasts material away from the star and into space. This material will form new stars and planets. The core of the star will either collapse into a neutron star or a black hole. So to answer the question, what is a star? A star is a massive ball of hot plasma held together by its own gravity. Stars are born inside of gas clouds called nebulae. They die when they run out of fuel. And some stars have planets orbiting them. We live on a planet that orbits a star. Our lives are shaped by this star. Without the sun, we would not exist. It gives us light and heat, and it's at the center of our solar system. The sun is a yellow dwarf star. It's medium-sized and not the most massive. There are other stars out there that are bigger and brighter than our sun. Like and subscribe for more.